Welcome everybody to week 14 of Kleschka Picks. Let me start with my record on the season. I am 118-72. So yeah, the record is looking very nice. Even after last week where there were tons of upsets and it kind of affected it a little bit, but I'm so far ahead it really doesn't matter at this point. As you can tell, the green screen is back, which means I can go anywhere. I can really do anything, as you can tell by the many changing things happening behind me right now. But let's go to the regular Kleschka Picks background. Boom! So let's get to the Thursday game, the Jaguars and the Titans. The Jaguars, they beat the Colts last week. That's one of the upsets I was talking about. And it's just the Colts were on such a hot streak and the Jaguars have not been the same Jaguars from last year. And it was the lowest scoring game of the season, 6-0, no touchdowns. The Jaguars had field goals for those 6 points. And the Colts offense was just absent, and the Jaguars defense was like the one from last year. The Jaguars have been such a roller coaster this season. Then we have the Titans, who had a game winner against the Jets, Corey Davis. And I think the Titans are the better football team. The Jaguars are so up and down this season, it's kind of hard to predict. So yeah, I gotta go with the Titans. I think they're gonna win 24-20. Next, we have the Giants and the Redskins. The Redskins lost to the Eagles. Seemed like there was a little hope when Adrian Peterson got that 90-yard touchdown run, and then it just kind of fell from there. Then we have the Giants who upset the Bears. That was honestly a very exciting game to watch. However, I think the Giants are the better football team. The Redskins are so injured. I don't know why I said however. I mean, I was leading up to the Giants gonna win anyways. But the Giants, they are the better football team, and the Redskins are plagued by so many injuries right now that I don't think they are gonna be able to compete with the Giants. I think the Giants are gonna look good. Oh, and before I get to the score, Odell Beckham Jr. throwing another touchdown again. The dude can do it all. If he can't be, even though he would receive one in that game, he has not had quite the production I'm sure he'd like, but if he's not gonna be catching the touchdowns, then sure, he'll be throwing the touchdowns. Anyways, I think the Giants are gonna beat the Redskins 30-17. Saints and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are one of the Saints' losses from way early in the season. The Buccaneers got the win last week over the Panthers. They had, I think their safety had 3 picks. The Buccaneers had 4 total picks. They just made Cam Newton look bad. Cam Newton, you're either going to get a really good Cam Newton or nah, I don't want to see this Cam Newton. Anyways, the Saints, they lost to the Cowboys. I had a feeling that was going to be a good game, but I still thought the Saints were going to come out on top. The Cowboys proved me wrong. Ever since they got Amari Cooper, they've been heating up. Anyways, I don't think we're going to see the same outcome from the Buccaneers this time. I think the Saints offense is going to get the ball rolling again, and I think they're going to put up a high number for the offense, and I think the Saints will win 34-17. The Patriots and the Dolphins. Dolphins got to win over the Bills, not a very impressive team to beat. Anyways, the Patriots, they got a win last week, of course, too, over the Vikings. Tom Brady reached 1,000 rushing yards. It only took him 19 years. You heard him. He said he's going to be riding off into the sunset. And now, I think this is pretty simple. The Patriots will beat the Dolphins 31-23. Ravens and the Chiefs. The Ravens got a win over Atlanta last week. Lamar Jackson, you know, ever since they put him in, he's been getting those wins. And then we had the Chiefs who beat the Raiders, and it's the Raiders, so the Chiefs didn't really have to try that hard this season, or that game with the Raiders, how they are this season is what I meant to say. And then I think the Chiefs are going to continue their dominant offense. Even after everything that happened with Kareem Hunt, they still got to win last week. So I think that's going to continue when you have an MVP type quarterback with Patrick Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill is, you know, probably the fastest receiver in the league. And you could say John Ross, but come on, Tyreek Hill, his freaking Instagram is cheetah, because he's as fast as a cheetah. And I think the Chiefs and all that offense are gonna freaking rally and get a W this week over the Ravens, 34-24. Colts and Texans. Texans continued their win streak over the Browns. Beating the Browns, it's a pretty simple task, unless the Browns all of a sudden become like the Patriots in the next few years, then I won't say it's a simple task. But it's the Browns, and hey, the Browns do look better ever since Baker Mayfield. Ever since Hugh Jackson left, really. Baker Mayfield just, you know, decided, hey, see you, coach, I'm going to show you what you're missing. And then we have the Colts, who, like I said, they got shut out by the Jaguars. With how hot the Texans are right now, I think they're going to get the win over the Colts, 23-20. The Falcons and the Packers, two teams that people would not think would be performing like this. The Packers lost to the Cardinals, and then they proceeded to fire Mike McCarthy. Then, the other team, the Falcons, they lost to the Ravens. They have so many good players, and it's just amazing that they have the record that they have. They should be performing way better, but they're just not. It's just not the Falcons season, I can tell you that. It's not the Packers either. And in this game, I think the Packers are going to continue to struggle. In these last few games, that's just all it's been for the Packers, is struggling and struggling. So I think this is a win for the Falcons. I think they will beat the Packers 30-27. Panthers and Browns. Panthers, you know, they lost last week. Cam did not play good. And then we have the Browns, who I said lost to the Texans. I think this is going to be close because Baker Mayfield is making games interesting for the Browns, but I think Cam is going to be the good Cam, like, you know, the one that runs all over the place, and, you know, he has a good offensive day with yards and touchdowns. I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a good day, so I think that the Panthers are going to beat the Browns 31-23. The Jets and Bills, not much to say here. The Jets lost and the Bills lost. So I'm just going to get straight to it. I think the Bills are going to beat the Jets 20-17. The Broncos and 49ers. 49ers got straight wrecked by my Seattle Seahawks. And then the Broncos, they came out with a victory too. The Broncos have looked good in their last couple games. I think that is going to continue. The 49ers, it's easy to beat their defense right now. Their offense, Nick Mullins shined when he debuted, but it hasn't really been the same since. And with the way the Broncos have been playing, they have mile-high confidence right now. I think they will beat the 49ers 27-13. The Bengals and the Chargers. Bengals are without Andy Dalton for the rest of the year. They are without AJ Green for the rest of the year. So basically what I'm telling you is they are without two huge offensive pieces for that team. Even though Andy Dalton is not the greatest quarterback in the world, it's definitely an experienced veteran quarterback and is better than what they have. So I think this is going to be a hard game to watch for Bengals fans, especially with the way the Chargers are playing. They had to kick like 3 field goals to finally get the game-winning one against the Steelers, but they are hot right now. The Chargers look good and could still pass the Chiefs. It could happen before season's end. With how Phillip Rivers and the whole offense is playing, I think this is going to be an easy win for the Chargers, 34-10. Steelers and Raiders. Raiders are having a season to forget, and the Steelers are having their last couple games that they want to forget. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Broncos. They almost lost to the Jaguars. I'm sure they wish they played better in that game. And I think this is going to be a redemption game for Pittsburgh. They're still leading their division, but they got to be careful in these last couple weeks because, I don't know, maybe Baltimore could come up and sneak up on them. Who knows? But Pittsburgh, you got to get it together. So I think this is the game where it's going to happen, and they're just going to start clicking again. Big Ben, Antonio Brown, James Conner's sitting out, but I don't think that'll be a problem against the Raiders. I think Pittsburgh wins 41-20. The Eagles and the Cowboys. Both of these teams have been heating up of late. The Cowboys have looked better to me of late, but the Eagles, they've been getting W's. So I mean, it's not everything you want when you watch them play, but hey, they're getting the job done, I guess. This could come down to these two. So I don't know. One of the Eagles or the Cowboys could win the division. I think it's most likely gonna be the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are looking better. They're clicking better. That Amari Cooper trade has helped out so much. It helps Ezekiel Elliott dominate even more. I think the Cowboys are gonna win 24-17. Lions and Cardinals. Like I said, Cardinals, they upset Green Bay. I was very shocked by that. I thought that was gonna be the game where Green Bay would get everything back on track, but it looks like it was the game where Green Bay is giving up hope on their season and their fans and everything. It's just looked bad for the Packers. But the Cardinals, that was a very positive win for them. The Lions, they lost to the Rams. Rams, very impressive football team. They're so good. Todd Gurley looking like he could win MVP, but his teammate could win it also, Aaron Donald. But then there's Patrick Mahomes as well. But like I said, Rams, dominant football team. Then the Lions are just having a season they don't want to remember. They just have troubles every season. I don't know if it's going to be turning around anytime soon for them. Sorry, Lions fans. And I think with the confidence of beating Green Bay, I think the Cardinals are going to get the win, 23-16. Rams and Bears. I think this is going to be a good game. Bears have been a very good defense this season. Rams have been a very good offense this season and defense. But I think it's going to be very good. I think the offenses are going to battle out. And I think the Rams are going to come out on top. But I think the defense is going to keep it kind of low scoring for these two teams, I guess. You wouldn't really call this low scoring for any other games, but I think the Rams will win 27-23. Then Monday Night Football, the Seahawks and the Vikings. My Seahawks. We got the win over the 49ers last week. We straight up demolished them. The Vikings lost to the Patriots, so that was very good for us. And this is a huge game for us. I think it's going to be a battle. I think it's going to be shootout back and forth, but eventually I think the Seahawks will come out on top. We are a dangerous team. Russell Wilson is a great leader and can win games you don't think we would win. And I think that's going to show here. He did it against the Panthers. Usually we have trouble playing them, but we got the win there. And I think that's going to be the same thing against this Vikings team. This Vikings team, they're good. Trust me, they're good. Kirk Cousins, good quarterback. He's got good receivers in Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs, very good receivers. But I think being in Seattle, I think that's going to help a lot. And I think that's going to help us, you know, get over the hill against the Vikings and get the W 30-24. All right, everybody, thank you for watching week 14 of Kleschka Picks. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in week 15.